There's nothing.
Thank you, son.
What's worse than receiving no news for any of these upcoming AAA Marvel games? Well, in this case, that would be receiving the news that there is no news, which I'm sure would go over completely fine with the entire Marvel games community. Or, in reality, it might end up going in the absolute opposite direction. But regardless, welcome back, true believers and all you spectacular Spidey fans, to another extremely interesting and possibly upsetting Marvel Spider-Man 2 related video, where I honestly feel like I've made this same exact video 5 separate times already. But simultaneously, it still is rather important to keep fully up to date with everything that Insomniac Games is stating about the current status of Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and primarily is whether or not we could see any type of story DLC releasing for the game in the near future. So if you're someone like me who's beyond excited for any other future Marvel Spider-Man 2 content, then definitely be sure to thwip that like button and subscribe to the channel for any more Marvel Spider-Man 2 and other Marvel games videos down the line. So as I've previously stated, is that this isn't my first time talking about the Marvel Spider-Man 2 DLC situation relating to any possible news that is surrounding it. And with the last update that we received from Insomniac Games pertaining to any Spidey DLC, is that they did state on Twitter or X is that they are currently all hands on deck for their other upcoming AAA Marvel game with Marvel's Wolverine, and that seemingly any other type of production that may or may not have occurred for any type of Spider-Man 2 DLC has either A, fully stopped its development in order to make sure that Marvel's Wolverine can be the best experience possible, or B, is that Insomniac Games might have already finished production on any type of DLC, which may end up releasing later on this year. Well, based on some of these brand new statements that have come straight from the mouth of Insomniac Games themselves, things are still a bit up in the air. Whereas was posted in this thread by Insomniac Games themselves with a fellow social media user of Jacob B, simply asking, any news on DLC, where Insomniac flat out replied by stating, we don't have anything new to announce. And on top of that, it was added only earlier today from another social media user of @JulianSamet3, is there gonna be a new suit update soon on Spider-Man 2? And again, is that Insomniac Games straight up stated is that we don't have any news to share at this time about future content drops. So to thoroughly translate all these posts from Insomniac in a way that all you viewers will understand is simply let them cook.
Yes, let this man cook!
As I've stated time and again, is that the only additional DLC content that was officially revealed to be included within Marvel Spider-Man 2 was only that of the New Game Plus update, which we did receive back in March, as well as the free Kids Super Collab suits, which we received back in June. And anything else that you might have seen be revealed for Marvel Spider-Man 2, either through any potential leaks or the absolutely atrocious hacking attack that Insomniac experienced, is not officially confirmed in any way, shape, or form until Insomniac says it themselves. Especially considering how much the production within Insomniac could have changed ever since the release of Marvel Spider-Man 2 in order to shift their focus fully on their next game with that of Wolverine, as well as any other types of projects that they might be working on in the near future, either with that of the inevitable Marvel Spider-Man 3 or any other potential AAA game that they might be working on as it stands right now. So if Insomniac had to end up scrapping any type of DLC that might have been planned for Marvel Spider-Man 2 in order to shift focus on their bigger projects, then I say more power to them. At the same time, it's also just been a rather weird year for the gaming industry as a whole. Besides the insane amount of layoffs that all these massive AAA gaming companies had to deal with recently, which Insomniac themselves were actually a part of, it's also been recently announced that video game voice actors are currently going on strike over the applications of AI in video games. And wouldn't you know it, but Insomniac Games themselves are one of the main gaming companies who are being affected by this strike. Now, it's still not exactly clear which particular games are going to be affected by this strike at large, but it would make sense that some delays are to be expected for certain games that are currently in development. And as for how long this strike may end up lasting, that is still relatively unknown. But the main thing that matters most here is that all these actors who are involved within these games thoroughly get the rights that they so desperately deserve. So at the end of the day, what does all this news actually mean for the longevity longevity of Marvel's Spider-Man 2, as well as any potential DLC that the game could receive. Well, given all these posts from Insomniac as well as the recent strike news, I'm still personally holding out hope as to what I've been referring to within all my previous videos. That of which being that if we are to receive any type of DLC for Marvel's Spider-Man 2, as well as potential gameplay for the upcoming Marvel's Wolverine, all of that and more will likely be unveiled in an upcoming PlayStation showcase, which may end up occurring next month in September, where recently we did see a full-blown Marvel Games panel which occurred during San Diego Comic-Con. But the main game that was the center of attention during that showcase was Marvel Rivals, as well as a bunch of other Marvel mobile games. And while we do have the upcoming D23 Expo, which Marvel will play a part of, the only main Marvel panels that are taking place during that expo do directly relate to the MCU. And the only core Disney game that will be showcased there that has been officially announced is Epic Mickey. But for the case of Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Marvel's Wolverine, and any other AAA game that Insomniac might be working on, they're all primarily owned underneath the PlayStation Studios umbrella. So any type of first-party PlayStation game that is being made from Insomniac will more than likely be saved for a PlayStation showcase, which is also something that my fellow content creator buddy of Comic Blast Keenan has also done a great job thoroughly breaking down in all of his previous videos, which you should absolutely take your time to check out. And whether or not we end up receiving any type of story DLC, extra costumes, or any type of bigger expansion that may or may not be included within Marvel's Spider-Man 2 down the line, we're still just gonna have to wait and see as to what exactly Insomniac is cooking up. But even with all that at the forefront, one thing still remains true. In Insomniac we trust. But with all that said, everybody, that's the video I have for all you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think about these Marvel Spider-Man 2 updates from Insomniac Games? And at this point, would you rather prefer getting DLC for Marvel Spider-Man 2, or instead having Insomniac fully focus on Marvel's Wolverine and any other type of Marvel game that they might be making in the future? Let me know what you think. Be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy, and for other Marvel Spider-Man 2 videos like this in the future. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay spectacular, Spidey fans, and until next time, peace out.